They have a cloaca, like a reptile, a shared opening for both breeding and defecating. Usually solitary creatures, these two quickly go their separate ways as they forage for hidden treats. It's even thought that they may use echolocation by making clicking sounds with their tongues to help them to navigate. As the sun rises, this female heads for home, where she is expected by multiple demanding little pincushions. Thankfully for this mama, her bundles of joy are not born with their spines, allowing for a smooth exit. Sharing the nest space fast becomes less accommodating as their coat of needle-sharp quills begins to take root. To the west lies one of Madagascar's many forests of stone called the Tsingy. The word Tsingy in Malagasy means where one cannot walk barefoot. But one creature takes it all in its stride. Crowned lemurs are master blade runners. These death-defying trips across the Tsingy are for one reason: the pockets of forest between the towering rocks. In the heat of the day, the stones begin to bake. The lemurs must now move quickly. Once in the trees, they'll find shelter from the heat. The main reason for their journey to the forest? The food. And plenty of it. They are just as good at tree climbing as they are at rock climbing. With a diet made up almost entirely of fruit, they disperse seeds and pollen, and they are vital to the entire forest. Or Malagasy poison frogs. His bright colours are a clear advertisement. Look, but do not touch. Like all members of their family, this golden mantella derives its skin toxins from its diet. It's thought that the toxins in the insects they eat are transferred to their skin. The hammercock, a frog's worst nightmare. He's an amphibian specialist. His big feet rake the river's muddy bottom to flush out any hiding frogs. This brown mantella is less toxic than its cousins and has no warning colours. He relies mostly on camouflage. But he's got a backup plan in an emergency. He fakes his own death. The hunter passes him by, and the frog makes good his escape. The tomato frog also has a special way of dealing with predators. Its red skin releases a toxic, glue-like substance. It's so gluey, it can even stick snakes to branches. If that doesn't do the trick, they puff up like a toxic tomato, making them nearly impossible to swallow. There is a reason these creatures go to such lengths to make themselves so unappealing. Madagascar is home to slithering assassins. Ground boas. And this rogue rodent unknowingly finds itself courting death. Madagascar has big snakes, but wait till you see. Case called an ootheca, and carry their eggs and unborn nymphs inside their bodies. They then bear live young. The snake-like hissing works some of the time, but not on this little hunter. The first creature thought to ever emerge from the ocean and live on land was Madagascan pill millipede. Some can be the size of an orange. Their name means 1,000 feet, but they don't have nearly that many. Perhaps the mating chirp of a worthy partner. Pill millipedes are alone among millipedes in chirping, and mind-bogglingly, pill millipedes may not even hear their own noise. Scientists can't find any hearing organs. Instead, they could be feeling the vibrations of their stridulating calls. The darkness of the Madagascar night harbours many secrets, some stranger than fiction. This is an aye-aye. He's not known for his looks. That creepy long finger taps on wood up to 8 times per second to locate juicy insect larvae. Despite speculation, he is a peculiar-looking lemur with incredibly powerful jaws, strong enough to crack a coconut. His long finger then extricates the coconut's nutrient-rich insides. An aye-aye must always keep an eye out. A pre-cracked meal is a hard opportunity to pass up for a hungry passerby. The key is to eat fast. The island's forest-fringed rivers are home to one of the world's only one that lives in water. Where many of Madagascar's rivers meet the sea, lie forests that straddle two worlds. This is a mangrove forest, a world constantly oscillating between land and ocean. At low tide, vast flats of mud lie exposed. It is home to a creature as undecided as the place it lives in. A mud skipper. This fish spends much of his life on land. The reason? The fine silt of the mudflats is filled with tiny organisms, which the mudskippers thrive on. Out of water, they absorb oxygen through their skin. Getting around here requires special equipment. Their adapted fins double as legs, complete with a type of shoulder joint. Large eyes atop their heads make it easier to spot potential mates or intruders. They're not the only ones adapted to this half-and-half life. Hermit crabs. They are not actually true crabs, as they don't grow their own shells. They use discarded shells as mobile homes. This guy has outgrown his current residence. But suitable shells are in high demand. After some pushing and shoving, they'll form a queue, biggest to smallest, to see which animal fits the new shell. The next smallest will take that crab's hand-me-down, and so on. For some, a mobile home is the best defense. For others, the best way to stay alive is to blend into the woodwork. Everything from their mottled coloration to the bark-like modified scales on their sides make leaf-tailed geckos hard to spot. Their disappearing act isn't their only magic trick. With eyes 350 times more sensitive to light than humans, they can see in the dark. And, as night falls, the hunted becomes the hunter. This giant leaf-tailed gecko has more teeth in his mouth than any other land vertebrate. ready for when he locks onto an unsuspecting insect. They are able to stick remarkably to surfaces. They can do this because of millions of tiny hairs, or setae, that cover their toe pads. Each of those hairs is covered by hundreds more microscopic protrusions, which stick to hard surfaces. A million setae, which would fit on a penny, could support the weight of a child. This satanic leaf-tailed gecko's resemblance to a dried leaf is one of nature's dense tangle of jungle on the northwest tip of Madagascar is home to black leaf. Both during the day or the night, is almost unique for primates and very rare for tree-dwelling mammals. This means they must be ready for all kinds of danger. In the day, predators can drop from the sky. Deeper into the thicket they go, where they are concealed from danger. The kite's attention and talons are locked onto a smaller lizard target. Crisis averted. Males travel from group to group during the breeding season. France. Isolation can lead to some bizarre behaviors and appearances. Along the eastern side of this, the fourth largest island on Earth, lies one of Madagascar's most beautiful, mysterious regions. This is an untouched lowland rainforest. shrouded in mist and vapor, these primary forests are the most biodiverse and carbon-dense form of forest. 82% of all species which live in these forests occur nowhere else on Earth, including this lovely lady. She's a diademed sifaka, named after the dark crown of fur on the very top of her head. As far as leaping from tree to tree goes, her and her small family are some of the best in the business. Each leap can be as long as 10 meters on their search for the most nutritious plants that power their athletic lifestyles. They're the second largest lemur on the island, but they make tree leaping look easy. Very long legs and short arms make running on all fours impossible. So, jumping it is. Without the tree trunks to cling to and push off from, their leaps are much less impressive. And slower. This mother has a young one in tow. He may still be dependent on her and can nurse until he's about 2 years old. She must lead him back to the treetops as quickly as possible. For they have an enemy here, and it's fiercer than it looks. It can kill with its foul-smelling gas, or turn people into zombies just with its saliva. Or so the stories go. This is the fossa. And in reality, it's just as strange as the legend. It has features belonging to a variety of creatures. Like a wild Frankenstein's monster. It has semi-retractable claws like a cheetah. A tail nearly as long as its entire body, like a monkey. And a highly developed sense of smell, sight and hearing, like a jaguar. Its closest relative is actually the mongoose, and it's the island's top predator. On today's menu, rodent. An easy meal for a skilled hunter. But small rats and mice are not its usual choice of prey. Lemurs are. Even large ones, like the black and white ruffed lemur, must beware. Once, lemurs the size of gorillas swung through these branches. But now the black and white ruffed lemur, weighing in at 3 kilograms, is one of the largest. This lemur has incredibly strong feet and ankles, perfect for hanging bat-like in trees as they rest, or survey the forest for signs of danger. This female has her own special way of laying claim to this patch of territory. glands below her tail fill the forest with her scent to mark her territory. She has left her babies behind while she forages. She's the only primate which has a true litter of young. As they make their way through the forest canopy, they are unknowingly keeping their home alive. Pollen collects on their furry faces as they pick through the treetops looking for food. This pollen is then transported across the forest as they leap from tree to tree. Ruffed lemurs are the world's largest pollinators. This male and female pair rarely stray far from each other's side. And in the early morning sun, they take a moment to play and bond. But they can't let their guard down. From their position in the branches, they spot a flash of brown fur. They sound the alarm. The lemurs have a problem. The fossa is just as fast as they are through the trees. The creatures of Madagascar are the stuff of myth. When tales of mermaids emerged centuries ago, perhaps they were inspired by the dugong. A graceful, gentle, and vegetarian giant. Inhabiting warm, shallow coastal waters, it feeds entirely on marine plants. Whiskers around the mouth and a powerful, flexible snout allow it to hoover up its favorite food, seagrass. It can hold its breath for 6 minutes, but as it surfaces for air, some of the densest bones of any mammal help to ballast its 3-meter-long body. It may resemble a dolphin, but it is more closely related to an elephant. These big mammals consume up to 40 kilos of seagrass a day. They may be seagrass gobblers, but they share these waters with a ray whose nose resembles a hedge trimmer. The sawfish. That impressive appendage is used not just as a tool for hunting, but as a defense mechanism. It may need it, for they are often found in brackish waters near estuaries. But the sawfish shares this domain with another predator, the bull shark.
Welcome